Hi, I'm Dr. Benjamin Hardy, and in this video I'm going to share with you how Mr. Beast, the famous YouTuber, became so successful. I'm going to do it in about 7 minutes using 5 principles from psychology, and you can use these 5 principles to achieve whatever it is you want. You may not want to be a famous YouTuber, but using Mr. Beast's story, which I'm about to show you, you can see how he used these 5 principles to accomplish really amazing things. And by the way, in case you don't know, Mr. Beast is the fastest growing YouTuber on the internet. He has about 44 million subscribers on his YouTube channel at the filming of this video. He's got billions of views and he makes tens of millions of dollars. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know how to apply these 5 principles to achieve whatever you're wanting to accomplish. So let's start with principle number 1, which is called selective attention. Selective attention is the idea that whatever you focus on expands. Our brains only focus on what matters to us, and you can train your brain to focus on whatever you want it to focus on. So with that said, I'm gonna share with you a quote from the book, The Little Book of Talent by Daniel Coyle, and it explains how people become high performers. This is a book called The Little Book of Talent by Daniel Coyle, and he's got a lot of research behind how he explains we become high performers. This book is all about how to become a high performer, and the first strategy he explains is selective attention. He calls it obsessively staring at what you want to become. And so here's what he says. He says, if you were to visit a dozen talent hotbeds tomorrow, you would be struck by how much time the learners spend observing top performers. When I say observing, I'm not talking about passively watching. I'm talking about staring, the kind of raw, unblinking, intensely absorbed gazes you see in hungry cats or newborn babies. We each live with a windshield of people in front of us. One of the keys to igniting your motivation is to fill your windshield with vivid images of your future self and to stare at them every single day. Now, when you actually look at Mr. Beast, you can tell that he did this. He stuck in front of his mental windshield all of the YouTubers he wanted to become. I'm gonna now share with you my screen and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this is Mr. Beast's profile, and the videos are ordered from oldest to newest. And if you click Control Find and look for money, you can see that around 6 years ago, he began to obsess with how much money various YouTubers made on YouTube. So he's got videos all about this. How much money does this person make? How much money does this person make? How much money does this person make? He's got tons of videos explaining how much various YouTubers make on YouTube. And so you can tell about 6 years ago, he became obsessed with famous YouTubers and making money on YouTube. So that became his obsessive focus. That became his selective attention. That takes me to principle number 2. So the second principle is that Mr. Beast became very clear about his future self, and he also became very public about his future self. In observing and obsessing about famous YouTubers and making money, he then began to see himself as one of those people. But not just seeing himself, he actually began posting videos about who he wanted to be in the future. And you can actually go back and see these. So he actually posted a video called Dear Future Me, scheduled upload 6 months ago. So he would actually shoot videos of himself and schedule the upload into the future. And he has multiple videos like this. Look, he has Hi Me in a year, Hi Me 2 years, and then even more recently, Hi Me in 5 years. So he actually did something really unique. He would post a video of himself, and then he would schedule it to post into the future, and in that video, he would share what he wanted to accomplish. So this is an example of one of his Future Me videos.
Did that fix it? Yeah. So you might be wondering, what are you watching? And I just got a random spark of motivation to make a video and schedule upload it 6 months later. So yeah, I'm making this video right now and I have 8K subs. Hopefully in 6 months I don't still have 8K subs. And yeah, I'm just gonna schedule upload this video for 6 months down the road. And then after this, I'm gonna schedule upload a video for a year, and then 5 years, and then...
So the reason this is so profound is because it's so rare. There's research out of Harvard that explains that most people do not imagine their future selves. So that's the second thing that Mr. Beast did, is he actually took time to imagine his future self, very specifically, very clearly, after obsessing on the people he wanted to become like. The third concept is that he was very public about his future self. He was not hiding it from anyone. Most people are too afraid to share their goals and their genuine interests with other people. And they're too distracted by too many things. But Mr. Beast not only became obsessed with one thing, he then became very thoughtful about his future self and then very public. He posted videos about who he wanted to become. Now, if you wanted to become someone specific, you should probably become very public about who your future self is. So that takes me now to number 4. The fourth thing that Mr. Beast did is that as he began making money on YouTube, he immediately invested it straight back into his channel. And there's a lot of psychological research about what happens when you invest money into your goals. So when you invest money into something, you become committed to it. It's a concept called escalation of commitment. And you also begin to build your identity around what you invest your money into. And so as he was investing more and more money into his future self, he became more committed to it. It became more of who he was, and your behavior drives back to the type of person you were. So as he was investing first hundreds and then thousands and then tens of thousands of dollars, now millions of dollars into his YouTube channel, he's now taking his future self more and more seriously, which is why he's getting bigger and bigger results. So if you want to become successful, you have to invest at the level of your future self in order to create that level of commitment and that level of identity. So that now takes me to the fifth aspect of what Mr. Beast did. So the fifth thing that Mr. Beast did, which most people don't do, is he became hyper results oriented. Most people, especially creative people, they focus on the process. They think that if they just do something over and over and over again, that eventually they'll get the result they want. Malcolm Gladwell actually popularized that idea in the book Outliers. He called it the 10,000 hour rule. And he said basically that if you do something for 10,000 hours, you'll become an expert at what you do. That's not true. It's based on a concept in psychology called deliberate practice. And deliberate practice means that you have a clear view of your future self, and you then engage in a process of learning that leads you to becoming your future self. And a big aspect of that is committing fully to the results you want. Actually, Michael Jordan's performance coach, who trained him to become as elite of an athlete as he did, his name was Tim Grover, and he said that you need to crave the results so bad that the work is irrelevant. There's also another book called The 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership, and in that book what they say is that commitment is a statement of what is. You can know what you're committed to by the results you get in your life. So at some point, Mr. Beast was committed to 8,000 subscribers. Then he committed to 100,000, and then he committed to millions, and your commitment is demonstrated in the results you're getting. And as I already said in principle number 4, investment increases commitment, but Mr. Beast was highly committed to results. He wasn't just willing to make a million YouTube videos. He was serious about getting millions or billions of views, and because he was committed to that result, he figured out how to do it. And so the final thing is that he committed desperately to results, the results he wanted, and he didn't care how he got there. His YouTube channel is a demonstration that he was committed to doing whatever it took to get billions of views. And so whatever result you want, you have to be very clear on what that result is, and then you need to commit to whatever process is required to getting there. That's actually what's required to have motivation. According to the expectancy theory of motivation, you need a clear result that you're committed to, and then you need to find the most effective path to getting there. So those are the 5 ways that Mr. Beast became who he became. I hope you can use those to apply that. I'm Dr. Benjamin Hardy. By the way,